Good morning. Welcome to Living Holistic, our podcast every Tuesday morning. This morning we have our co-host Heather.
Hi.
And our guest today is Shanquila Sylve of Maven and Muse.
Hi.
You can call me Q. Q? All right. So Q, do you want to give a little introduction of what you do here at Living Holistic?
So I am a holistic practitioner. I specialize in somatic body work or emotional release. And I work with clients who, suffer with anxiety, dysregulated nervous system, chronic pain. I help them to release emotions that are trapped in the body that ends up becoming symptomatic.
All right. So one of the things I love about Q services is the VAT bed. And the VAT bed can be used in many of your services. Yeah. So you want to explain what that is?
Yeah, so the VAD bed is vibroacoustic therapy, and it is a frequency bed. And so every muscle, every organ in our body operates at a different frequency. It vibrates at a different frequency. And when those frequencies are off, a lot of times we have dysregulated nervous system, pain in the body, or symptoms of different ailments. And what this does is we vibrate specifically to that muscle or organ, the frequency that would bring it back into balance. And so it's really nice. Everyone that gets on it pretty much just immediately goes to sleep.
Listen, I'll tell a story because I'm not shy by now if you keep tuning in every Tuesday. But yesterday I had some high anxiety going on, but it was more noticeable to everybody else. And I come plopping in here and everybody's sitting at the table and one of the gals looks at me dead in the eyes and she's like, "Are you on speed?" And I'm like, "What?" So Alicia, suggested that maybe I might want to go try this. And so luckily Q did. And it's hard for me to relax just with my background and everything to close my eyes and relax. But Q is, and I'm not just saying this, but she's just calming. You're just calming. You're like a lullaby when you talk.
Aww.
And so I was able to somehow relax. I thought I was going to be on my phone and just thinking about all the things I had to do, but 20 minutes was gone. We were 20 minutes, right?
A little under 20 minutes.
Okay. It was just done, and I felt amazing after. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of vibrates a little bit, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but it just felt kind of relaxing. It vibrates, but not in a weird way. It vibrates in a calming way. So
it's rocking you to sleep.
Yeah, it's like rocking you to sleep, essentially.
And then your playlist along with it.
My worship playlist. Yeah,
puts
I know.
me to sleep.
Yeah.
Everyone that comes in, they're like, "Please send me that playlist. Please send me." I need to get a QR code with just that playlist.
Yeah, you have to send it to me still.
I need to put it on my. Oh yeah, I need to put it on my website. But yeah, I love the VAD bit. So you can use it. I use it for in many of my services for dysregulated nervous system, just to kind of bring everything back to balance. But you can use it for autism, ADHD, Parkinson's, back pain, bone spurs after surgery, post-surgical stuff. And it just helps with the healing process and the pain.
If you were using it for autism or ADHD, would that be something that somebody would use on a regular basis, daily?
Yes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be daily, but you do use it a little bit more often and closer together. So, because for instance, back pain, of course, everyone's different, but a lot of times, if you got on it for your back pain or a headache or, some form of pain, you can use it that one time, which is typically a 20-30 minute protocol, and it's gone. But something for Parkinson's, ADHD, autism, that would be a nervous system, and that would be a little bit more of a sequence of different frequencies. And yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when you're using it in a lymphatic session, does it help things move the way you're trying to get it to move?
Yes. So because of the vibration, it's helping with the nervous system. Because lymphatic system, you want to kind of keep things moving. So yes, I do incorporate it in my lymphatic massages as well. So while you're getting your lymphatic massage, you'll have that access to using the VAT machine, which is really nice because it helps you relax a little bit more, because during the lymphatic massage, I am kind of shaking you, not but just nice little rocking motion. So it just is really good, which all my services, and that's what I love about all of them, is like it all helps with calming.
Yeah.
Like that's always the goal, is safety and calming.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I see people come out of your room and they're just like,
I know everyone's like, you should let us stay extra so we can sleep. Because for some people, they're like, this is the only time I get to sleep, like really get a restful nap in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay, so the lymphatic work.
Lymphatic work. So a lot of people have this idea of like, oh, lymphatic work is great if I had lipo or surgery. But lymphatic work is great for everyone all the time. And the reason why is because our lymphatic system is not an automated system. Like, you know, you have to manually pump the lymph nodes and get moving. And so what this does is it just helps with like flushing toxins, making sure everything stays open and clear. So if you had like any autoimmune issues or chronic health issues, you would come in often. And sometimes even weekly until, you know, just depending, I would give you a certain protocol, but typically like weekly until we can kind of go back depending on how the lymphatic system feels and all that. But for like a average healthy person, I would say getting it done like seasonally or minimum twice a year, just to make sure everything's moving, flowing. And especially like if you've just gotten sick, you want to kind of flush all the residual stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be me then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a lot of people
I
right
think
now.
seasonal is important because as the seasons change, our body's trying to change and adapt with it.
Yeah, and then in Texas with allergies, honestly, in Texas, you probably should get a lymphatic massage every month.
Oh my goodness.
Allergies are all year round here.
Yeah, it's bad.
But yeah.
So I was told when I had my breast exam, just the annual checkup, that there's two types of breast in a family, genetic. So you can have soft tissues or you can have really tight tissues.
Yeah.
And if you genetically have tight tissue, you have smaller breasts, but you also have a higher possibility of fibroids and cancer and things like that. So if you're in that category, does it help to have the lymphatic work done?
Yes, it does. And honestly, regardless which category you're in, getting lymphatic massage is great because, you know, in the lymph nodes is where they find like breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And so just kind of keeping all of that flushed is so important for our health. And one of the things is like we as women, we're not told to massage around the breast. So important. Mm-hmm. Like it helps, like continuing massaging around the breast. And I tell women do it daily. Like when you're just laying there in bed, just massage around the breast. It's so good for the breast health, especially if you have fibrosis like in the breast, or you're prone to getting, you know, like little nodules. But also, it's great for like the back. You get tight around the ribs, then all of that pulls on the back, and then you kind of pull forward, especially if you're have more dense tissue or you're heavier on top. So yeah, so I just can't say enough for lymphatic massage. Like, I mean, I massage my kids. I do lymphatic massage on them.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did my daughter. So my daughter struggles with a circulatory problem.
So
yeah. And until she quit gymnastics, we really didn't know because working out every day, she was pumping her system. And so after she quit gymnastics and, you know, the extracurricular activities, everything slowed down and we started having dizziness and all these symptoms that we never experienced before. And I remember the day after her lymphatic work with you, she was at the gym and she's like, Mom, I can work out, I'm not dizzy. She was so happy.
Yeah. With her too, we also did the ear seeding.
Yes.
Yeah. So ear seeding, the good thing about ear seeding too is you can go into every service as well. And just sitting here talking, I'm like, yeah, all my services really do go into each other. But ear seeding are these little tiny beads that you can place on pressure points on the ear. So it's just like acupuncture, but no needles. So it's really gentle, even for babies. And you can ear seed for anything. I mean, I don't think there's anything you can't ear seed for. like it's great for like anxiety, any kind of symptoms you have, pain in the body, just anything you would typically think of like taking medication for or anything like that. It's an alternative. Yeah.
And I like it because, well, first of all, you can't see them unless you really look closely.
Yeah.
Except when you put the cute bling ones.
The bling bling.
It looks like I have an extra piercing and it's cute.
Yeah. Well, and it's so nice because, I mean, of course, again, everyone is different. So, you know, it may work for you the first time. You may need additional sessions. But a lot of times anxiety is like one of those things that it works really quickly.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to see people who like, they come in, they're like really anxious, and then you put the earpiece on and they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just all of a sudden feeling like I took a Xanax.
And they
So
last
it's
for a
really-
long time.
Yeah, they last, well, you leave them on, well, yours lasted a lot longer.
I don't know why. I swear I shower daily.
You didn't take them off, but you want to leave them on for 5 days, and then you would take them off, and then you can get them again. But yeah, they're really cute. And then there's all kind of designs, like different designs and different images you can get on them, which is really cute. I just don't typically buy all of those because people are like, I don't want all that.
Right.
So I usually stick with like the crystal ones because they look like piercings, and then the gold are titanium. Yeah. So yeah.
So just in case people don't know, so they don't, after being on your ear for 5 days because of body oils and showers and shampoos and conditioners and whatever else, they don't turn your skin green, correct?
No.
You actually use gold, right?
Yes, I use gold on your daughter, but lately I've been using titanium just because, like, you know, just to avoid any allergies. So yeah, they're completely safe.
Nice.
Yeah, latex free, all that. So you don't have to worry about any allergies. Yeah.
So if you have somebody come in and they're just an emotional hot mess, you would use VAT machine with lymphatic massage and somatic work.
So yes, so all of my services are really tailored to the person specifically. So it doesn't mean I'll do all services, but they're probably a candidate for all of them eventually. But somatic work is where our number one focus is safety, being safe in the body, because that's the thing with your nervous system is when you're in fight or flight or you're in functional freeze, your body is saying like, we are in survival mode. And the thing with our bodies is sometimes it doesn't know like, hey, there's no bear chasing me. I'm okay. That situation happened a month, 2, 3 months, a year ago, you know? But your body is still remembering it because it stored it. And it's like, I need to protect you at all times. And which is a good thing. But we want to learn to bring our body back into balance where it's like, okay, it's activated when it needs to be, but when it doesn't need to be, we're calm and we're remaining, you know, very stable. So what somatic work does is, you know, help with getting the body to feel safe. And then we move into nervous system regulation or releasing of the emotions that may be trapped in the body. And when I say the nervous system regulation part, that can be like the VAT system, the lymphatic system. And the reason why lymphatic work is really good with emotional release is because when you have that stored trauma or stored emotion, a lot of times it results in like chronic issues such as pain or you know, autoimmune can flare up, and just inflammation in the body, which cortisol, oh my goodness, can wreak havoc.
Well, I'm sitting here staring at you because I'm listening to what you're saying with the lymphatic, and something's coming to my mind. So I do nutritional therapy, and I have a client who's been struggling with her liver. Her liver just needs to be, she doesn't drink, so she did take quite a few meds for a while, prescribed by a doctor, but we suspect, myself and a functional nutrition doctor that she's working with, that she has non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And as for exercise, she's doing all these things right, but I'm sitting here thinking, because she wants to do these protocols, and I told her until we get your drainage system, your lymphatic and drainage system working, we're not doing that because your lymphatic system is responsible for moving all the trash and the garbage, right? But if it's backed up and it can't do that, then you're not getting the benefits of any of these supplements or these nutrients that we're trying to put in your body anyways. So I usually have her on a drainage protocol. I know she's not doing the manual lymphatic, pumping and dry brushing, all that stuff. So would something like your lymphatic massage, if somebody was open to it, help open up the system enough so we could nutritionally address the root cause of issues that somebody's been struggling with for a while?
Yes, and I'm so glad you said that, what you said earlier about it backing up, because a lot of times that's the thing too, like when that stuff is stored in the tissue, it becomes toxic.
Yes.
It's toxic waste, and our body wants to eliminate it, but we have to help it. And so, yes, it would kind of, what lymphatic does is, I tell people, like, it's like that reset, right? It's like resetting everything, flushing all of the bad, so then the good nutrition, the good things that you're putting in your body can actually function the way it's designed to. But like putting that in along with having the toxic waste already there, it's like, it's just counterintuitive.
Exactly. And I think it's important for people to know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming with lymphatic it's the same, as it took your body X amount of days, years, weeks, whatever it is to get there. So it's not going to be a quick fix. Like, it's something that it'll help get things moving, but you've got a lot of trash built up essentially. So you got to do it regularly for a period of time in order to make it consistently
exactly.
be eliminated.
And I want to say this too, because sometimes when I talk to people, they're like, oh, I had a lymphatic massage and it made me so sick. So that's typically when someone has a lot of backup in their body, their system, and a lot of toxins. But the thing with the way I am doing lymphatic work is, like, it's very intuitive. Like, everything I do has to be intuitive, because we're not all the same. And so I'm feeling for how much is your system backed up and how much can I flush within a limit of, like, this won't make you sick. So if you've ever felt sick from lymphatic, it's either because there wasn't enough water that was being drank to help flush and eliminate, or it was just a little bit too much going into the system too fast. So don't not get lymphatic systems just because you got sick. Just maybe tell your lymphatic therapist or whoever you're seeing that, hey, last time I got sick, so maybe a little less this time.
Right.
Yeah.
And the quality of water is so important.
Yes.
I have people come in and they're like, I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. Okay, but what kind of water are you drinking? Well, we have a full house water filtration. Okay, so then there's nothing left in your water unless you have a remineralization. So alkaline water, use like Celtic salt, something that's
Trace
going to help
minerals.
push the water through those tissues.
Yeah. What do you think about spring water? Do you like spring water?
Spring water?
Okay.
My grandpa had a joke. He was, I don't know, he was in his late 80s, and they started bottling water, spring water, from right under his house. And he would always make fun of us. You went to the store and you wasted your money and you bought bottled water to go get it from my tap. And then right after he died, it became really popular and it was this big thing. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to go back. I'm the person that sits here for people that might not know.
Yeah,
So
I
all
love
those
that.
things.
I love that.
Like, I'm a big massage person, but I also am very mindful of where I spend my money. At least, well, I'm trying to be anyways, right? So when I think massage, and just for those massage enthusiasts out there, the people that are like big exercisers, I'm thinking massage, right? So I think when we say lymphatic massage, it's really important to let people know that it's way different than getting your thumbs and elbows into it, correct?
Yes, but I also do more of a different technique than a lot of lymphatic massage therapists. So I was trained in Vater, which is really light. So a lot of people, when you say lymphatic, and I'm so glad you brought this up.
That's what I'm talking about, because I think people might be like, what just happened? I came in and she's tapping on me. So I thought maybe you could explain what it is.
So a lot of people they do Vater technique. And I did another training from this amazing lady, Priscilla, who taught me fertility massage and prenatal postnatal massage. She was my instructor, and I took her lymphatic course. And she actually uses more of a firmer pressure and flushing. So it almost feels like you're kind of getting a massage. I'm not there like working trigger points or anything like that. Yeah. But it is really nice because it feels like a massage. It feels like a combo or whatever. And I prefer that technique because it's the technique I've seen most results with.
Okay.
And I've done a lot of post-surgical massage, lymphatic massages, and just lymphatic massages in general. And it's the technique that I find that has the most benefits. And it's so interesting because now in Australia, they're doing a study that actually shows a firmer pressure actually pushes the fluid more, which makes sense, right?
That makes
Like,
sense.
Yeah.
Logically, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's like everybody's like, no, you got to do it the Vader way. Well, in massage therapy world, everybody's like, it's the Vader way. That's the only way. And that's the thing. It's like we're all so different. Like, why does everybody have to fit in? This is the way I'm gonna do everybody. Like, that should not be a thing,
I
That's
feel
why
like the
I love
Vader way, and I've not been trained in this, so I could just be talking out my you know what. But I feel like that's a good way to open the pathways, right? But then having the more of the brushing moment or movement is more flushing.
Yeah,
That just
yeah.
makes logical sense to me.
Yeah.
In
It's-
Ayurveda, we use dry brushing, which
Yeah.
is more of
I need to be better at
a
that.
sweep.
Yeah.
I'm just lazy. I'm just lazy. I need to be better. I need to dry brush. Because I have an injury, like a serious injury from a work-related injury, so that I have insufficient, like, vascular. I can't even talk, you guys. It's so early in the morning for me. Can't remember the term, but long story short, my blood does not pump the way it's supposed to. And so I know this is for more lymphatic, but this would also help my vascular system get the blood pumping. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh crap, I just need to do this. I need to dry brush and I need to get in with you.
Yeah. Well, and I do dry brushing as well.
So when you mix the somatic work with this, and how intuitive you are, and I love that you're faith-based in this, because when you are opening up the blockages in the body, you can open up emotions that are stored as toxin in the tissue. And so you're guiding them through this somatic experience. Can you share a little, like, teaser of what that looks like?
For the somatic work?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I always say it's so hard to explain because, when everyone comes in, they're at a different state and everyone's so different. But just an idea of some of the services I use quite a few of those services. But I do, when they come in, there's a little bit of somatic guidance. I hate to use the word coaching, but just kind of getting people in, not so much a mindset work, but kind of getting them into a place where they can connect mind and body, because it's so important. Like, you need to know what you're feeling, because your body's trying to tell you something. So when you're feeling anxious, your body's saying, hey, I have a fear of something. When you feel just anything really, like, your body's always trying to tell you something. We just have to listen to it. So that's my thing. It's like, I'm trying to help them connect. So we do a little bit of coaching, and then we may go into like some craniosacral therapy while on the VAT machine. If they're suffering with any chronic pain because they, maybe have this emotion that's been stored for quite a while, we'll go into some lymphatic at some point. It's just, I have a arsenal of tools. And if I went through all my certifications, we'd be here a while. So I just kind of pull things out of my bag of tools as needed and as fit. Because like I said, everybody's so different and everybody needs something different. And that's just, where it comes in being intuitive and like really like feeling into what they're feeling into their body and saying, hey, this is too much, this is what they need or don't need,
Mm-hmm. But in the end, your somatic experience is much different than if I were to get on Google or App Store and download a somatic
exercise or something.
Exercise, workout,
Yes. And to all the people out there, because I warn all my clients, like, don't go down the rabbit hole of searching somatic, because the word is being slapped around. It's like somatic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I hate using the word coach.
I just like coach. Everybody's a coach. So.
Yes, exactly. So, you have to be really cautious about it. And so I see so many people, because people will send me like, what do you think of this somatic exercise or whatever? And it's like, okay, it's just regular exercise. And they just call it somatic exercise, which they can, because somatic comes from the word soma, which means body. So anything doing with your body is somatic, okay? But what people are looking for is, when they think of somatic, they're looking for like, okay, if I do this exercise, it's going to help me release emotion. Mm-hmm. And the thing with that is, you have to be so intentional, and if you're not already very mindful of like what's going on in your body, it's going to be really difficult to do anything somatically, you know? So it really does take an expert, you know, being guided by someone who knows how to guide you into those things and guide you into them safely. Mm-hmm. Because we talk about this all the time. I see so many people doing activated work with clients who are already activated. And that's the last thing you want. And the reason why is because it's going to shut you down even more.
I was actually going to bring that up. And I think you and I had a conversation a while back on this, because I believe I had shown you an app that I was initially going to pay for, because, you know, I have a friend she's wonderful. So everything she tells me that all my emotions are like in my hips and you have to do this. But it looks like it was designed, it may not be, but it looks like it was designed to be more of an active somatic daily workout to help you release that. And I believe when I was talking to you about it, you were saying, but you need to be very careful doing that on your own, because you might not be ready for what's released, meaning the emotion or what it's going to do to your nervous system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The thing with emotional release is that, you know, it really does take someone who knows what they're doing to help you and guide you in that, because sometimes, because it's like so many different things you have to take in consideration. Like when I'm working with a client, there's so many things like, are they activated, or are they in a parasympathetic state where, you know, or somewhere along that line where we can kind of go into more emotional release? Because if they're like up here, then why am I going to do something that's going to bring them here and even higher, and then they're just going to go and go into functional freeze. And functional freeze is when it's like you're functioning and you're pushing through, but at the same time you're like in this really depressive state.
Mm-hmm. It's survival mode.
Yeah.
I love that term. I don't think I've heard that, but I really like that, so I'm probably going to steal it.
Survival mode?
No, survival mode I know. Functional freeze. Girl, I know survival mode.
I was going to say, yeah, I thought about it after that.
Functional freeze, I like that.
Yeah, and you know, it's so many people are walking around like that.
Yeah.
And it's because, you know, we didn't know. And so then when all the somatic stuff came out, we started trying all of these things, you know, and because we want to heal. And so we're just like doing all the things, we're going down the rabbit hole of searching, we're staying on TikTok. All of that is activating our nervous system, you know, and I tell my clients, stop, get off social media.
Girl, it's
stop
hard.
scrolling it.
It's hard. It's like almost like muscle memory. You just, even if I found myself yesterday going, why? Like, you could be doing something more productive. Like, I'm trying to get better at understanding and reading the Bible, right? I want to do that. But it's easier to scroll TikTok than to learn or get frustrated or put an effort into something else. And I hate to use those terms when I'm referring to the Bible, but it is not easy for somebody that's just starting to read the Bible to understand it, right? But the TikTok, I think that is, I kind of wish, I hope they do ban it, because then it'll get rid of my addiction.
Well, and you know, sometimes we have to be conscious too that if you're an avoidant person,
I am not an avoidant, but I know where you're going with that.
That, you know, it's so much easier to just keep scrolling because we're avoiding things. And I see that also with
I'm a procrastinator. I like that term better.
Well, it's like, you know, because even with I mean, I'm an avoider, right? Yeah. And the whole I kind of want to give a background on a little bit of how I started this anyway. I was sexually assaulted, and I did not do things like therapy or anything. I just was like, push it to the side, pretend it never happened. And it caught up with me, and I became really sick. Like, I couldn't work for 3 months. I was blacking out. I was having dizzy spells. And it was such an emotional and spiritual battle that I was going through. And that's when I kind of started, and I had previously was already like studying somatic work, but I never like implemented it in my practice. I just was studying it because when I was studying it, no one was teaching it. So I was taking like psychology classes and all those things, but there was no like, this is how you do it or any of that. And so I was studying all of these things, and then, you know, I realized like through prayer, like, oh my goodness, this is the trauma that's trapped in my body that I never dealt with. And I was on a search to find someone who could help me, but I was looking for someone who was faith-based, you know, because I didn't want just anyone. And I just couldn't find a good fit. And so through prayer, I was able to do a lot of the work on my own. And then, you know, I did seek out a therapist, and it was a good fit. And, you know, all of those things, I did those things. And that's how my journey kind of began. And God just started laying it on my heart, like, there is a need for a faith-based somatic practitioner. Because like you said, you're opening yourself to vulnerability. And it's so important that you are aligned with who you're working with, and you're aligned with God.
Yeah.
Because you can do all the healing in the world, but, you know, God is the one true healer. Like, and even in my practice, like I say this all the time, I'm like, it's not me. It's like, it's God. You know, I have to die to flesh every day and die to self every day in my sessions and say, this is not about me. This is about you and the person on my table. And so, anyway, I'm just going on.
No, I like it.
I feel like I'm about to go down on a church rant or something. But anyway, that's how I started my practice, because, you know, there was such a need, and it's just, I'm so blessed to be in the position to see like God in His hand and what He does for people.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I don't know, it's amazing,
No,
and I'm so
that's a
passionate about it.
Beautiful thing.
Thank you, yeah.
But you are like, it may or may not be that time of the month, and so I'm a little extra emotional, but like, you are such a beautiful human. I'm not even talking about your exterior. Like, you are so thoughtful and so kind, and you're willing to just do anything that you can to help people. Like, you helped me the other night. It's just like, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to drive. Like, you're just truly an amazing human.
Oh, thank you. Got me crying early in
Sorry.
the morning. Too early for the tears. Nah, but thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, you know, I for so long was like, I don't, and you know, even still I struggle with like, oh, I don't know what God wants me, what He wants me to do. But for so long I was like, I don't know what like my purpose is. And I remember as a child always praying like, God, like, what is my purpose? What am I going to do? And, you know, this is definitely it. And I'm so glad that I get to see that. And I'm still like, I want God to give it to me like super clear.
Yeah.
And of course He doesn't. And I'm like, what is the lesson I have to learn in getting there? But
to overcome imposter syndrome, because you have all the things that everybody needs, and you just have to believe in it.
oh my goodness.
And there are so many moms out there that either have struggled with fertility, or struggled with trauma, or struggling with a house full of kids, and they're just in over their head. And so to have this service available, like the Yo massage class,
Yeah.
I think it was 35 minutes, but that was
It was an hour.
Was it really? It went so fast. It felt so good. And I went home prepared for the day. I had just complete relaxation in here. I was able to clear my mind and go home and take care of my kids the way they needed me to show up for them. So the services, I mean, I could just list 1,000 people that it could fit.
Thank you.
But I love that you are faith-based, because, you know, like we said, you put yourself in this vulnerable position. So the playlist that you play, that's just, I think that needs to be homework for everybody that works out of here.
But she does give you the choice. Like, she does give you the
She does
choice for
give you
spa
the
music
choice.
or Christian music. So,
Yeah, because I am faith-based and I am very proud to say that.
Yeah.
And, but I do have a lot of clients who are like, I don't know what I believe, or, you know, they're into a lot of other stuff. And so I don't want anyone to not get the help they need. And so I do give that option. It's not like I'm shoving faith down your throat, but, you know, I pray through all my sessions. I don't pray out loud or anything like that, you know, so everyone's comfortable. But, you know, I am very faith-based, and it's one of the things that I'm proud of being, you know, because I know, like, in the beginning, people were like, that's not good for business. And I'm like, but this is who I am.
but it'll bring the people that are meant for you to
That's
heal
right,
to you. And it still opens the door for those that are interested and want to understand. And who knows, you might help somebody because you're not, I guess, this might be a poor word, but you're not pushing it. But you're giving them the option, right? So you're saying, I've got this, and if you want to do this, I chose that yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
So, and it was so relaxing, and I do want that playlist.
I will. Oh, when you said yo massage, I wanted to just clarify.
Oh, yeah, because I put this little insecurity in her head. Okay, I thought, I thought yo massage, it freaked me out because I know what she does, and it's not this. But she said yo massage, and they're having this big group, and they've got the blinds down, and it's going to be dim. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Q's going to walk around massaging everybody's, you know, yoni. Like, it freaked me out. And I'm like, I did not see that side of her. Like, she seemed so, like, conservative and put together. I was freaking out. And then it was gently whispered to me that it's yoga massage. So
yo massage is you go into a restorative pose, and while you're in that restorative pose, and a restorative pose is just like a very nice, like, relaxing kind of pose. And once you're in that pose, I go around and I just massage. And so the group sessions are maximum of 5. I like to keep it under 5. And then I do offer one-on-one as well. But yeah.
I was so happy to hear that clarified.
Yes.
I mean, not that I would
Yoga
judge,
massage.
but it was just like.
But after hearing your birthing experience yesterday, I understand why you put that together.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, I didn't even think of that.
Yes.
100%. But I mean, I didn't think she was gonna get that in there. But I was definitely had questions. Let's just put it that way. I had questions.
But there are pelvic floor therapists, and that's what they do.
I know. And so I just thought, like, okay, because Jamila, did I say it right? Jamila, not Jamal, right? Jamila. She does yoni steaming. So with having all these fabulous different holistic practitioners in this building, it didn't seem too off course. It just seemed a little off course for Q. So I was like, really? Wow. This is something I gotta speak to her about.
No.
It was not that relaxing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No.
In a group setting, I'm not sure that would even be relaxing.
You know, the group setting, though, I loved it because I got to take a little nap while you worked on everybody else, and then it was like a pleasant surprise. Oh, she's back.
I know. It's so odd because I always kind of say, like, I wonder would people prefer the one-on-one or the yo massage? And when I ask, a lot of people do prefer the group sessions because, like what you said, they're like, oh, it's just like I get to stay in the pose a little longer and rest. And then with the music playing, like, it's just so soothing to your
I'm coming to the next
spirit.
one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd love to have you.
Yeah. I was thinking, since we are live, do we ever have people that have actual questions while we're chatting, or do we need to open it up for y'all to post questions so that we can answer them for you?
So right now, I think it would just be post your question, and then we can follow up. Until we get a different camera set up.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because I thought you had some really good information and they'd be like, whoa, hand up, I have a question, and it'd be nice to be able to answer it. But we can always just post the question, don't be shy.
Yeah. And I do free discovery calls. So you can go on my website, which is www.mavenandmuse.us, and you can always go in there and contact me. You can even email me. Like, on my website, I have a contact list or form that you can fill out and ask questions as well if there's anything specific to my
And we can put
services.
all that information in the comments, so if people want to find your website or your email, they can reach out to you directly as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
And anytime you have a question about a member we have at Living Holistic, you can go to our member directory on the website and connect with them straight from there too.
Did you not say that they can click directly on the person's profile picture? And
I did say that, and then I had a lot of response. I was just like, I had no idea. So now I put a connect button.
Okay.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. Well, we're glad we got to spend the morning with you, and we hope that we see you here. We have so many events. This week is kind of slow, but then July is just going to take off. We've got a meet and greet with Dr. Khan, then we're doing a community meet and greet, sip and shop with herbal mocktails for Christmas in July.
Herbal for you Canadians, herbal for these US folks.
Not Canadian.
That's
Alaskan.
Okay,
That's what it
sure.
is.
Or
Okay.
Alaskan. I say, now you got me messed up. Oh my goodness.
You say
Herbal.
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 I say herbal.
And she
And
says
I say
herb. and
herbal.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious, but sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's like y'all and y'all.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
Totally different. Okay, so anyways, we'll see you guys here next Tuesday. Come check out the events. They're all posted online. You can look at them individually and RSVP on Facebook events. And who's our guest next week?
Oh, P.S. real quick, a little shout out here for me. I had a great response for coffee and casing, so I'm going to be putting more information up, but I'm doing another one July 24th at 10 a.m.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think we're talking with Stacey Ellie next week. She's about to open Monarch Quantum Wellness, which is going to be a fabulous frequency and belief coding center. Yes.
Oh, looking forward to talking to her.
Next week, 7 a.m.
Thank
See y'all
you.
here.